the first question we have is, every time I pray, I try to pay attention, make khushu', but no matter what, I can't focus on salah. Is there anything I can do to help?
So the question is about the khushu' eventually in salah. Every time I try to pray, my heart is distracted with all these things that I'm thinking about, I'm worrying about. How can this happen? They say, if you chase two rabbits, both will escape. What does that exactly mean? If you're going to be praying, just think about salah. Now, one way I would love to give you as a suggestion, inshallah ta'ala, to help you focus on your salah, is that make and consider salah an escape from this world. It's an escape from this world. This is basically like a getaway moment for you. We need that. You need those 10 minutes just to get out of the mess of this world. Many people, when they pray on their spare time. When they're now left with few more minutes before they go back to the next task and so on. So when they're always rushing it, Allah musta'an, they never enjoy it. They never enjoy it. So if you would like to consider your ibadah the right way, make sure salah is a getaway for you. It's an escape from this world. That's the first thing. Second, I have a whole lecture online on YouTube called Al-Khushu' fi Salah. Because if you would like to practice khushu' in salah, you have to be considering things to do before you start your salah, while you're doing your salah, and after you're done from your salah. It's not just a spontaneous thing. It's just like, subhanAllah, you make wudu because you heard the adhan, you start your salah, and you expect everything to fall in place, mashallah. It requires some preparation. Preparation of the mind and the heart and the body and the spirit and so on. So check out this lecture, inshallah. It's called Al-Khushu' fi Salah.
I just wanted to bring something that I didn't have a chance to say it in my time. Something personal. My major issue with my heart is the level of feeling low when something bad I do. You know, what type of sin, whatever it is. The shaitan at that moment uses that moment of vulnerability of yours. When I look at your faces, mashallah, I expect there's a lot of khair in each one of us. But we are all vulnerable to mistakes and sins. And when we fall into that, the most thing that you need to pay attention is the shaitan wants to utilize that moment and make you feel low of yourself. That you're not worthy. That you don't deserve things. And what happens? You set back. You start looking down at yourself, and your level of engagement and acts of good gets lazy, and you don't put much. And actually at that time you are falling into the rhetoric of shaitan himself. You need to understand that it doesn't matter how things might go wrong with you, and you might do things that might be bad. You might be falling into some of the diseases that we spoke about. You need to pull out because of one thing. You know, one of our great imams, his name is Ibn Ata, said, من علامة الاعتماد على العمل نقصان الرجاء عند وجود الزلل. That one of the problems that if you do mistakes, zalal, you look at your deeds as if they're gonna go up or down depending on your mistakes. And that should not be the ratio. It should be looking at God rather than looking at your own deeds. If you are looking at God and you have hope in Him, it doesn't matter what you have done. God is God. And He is the one you need to look at. When you look at your own sins, then you judge yourself and you say, I'm not good. I'm not going to continue. And He's saying, pay attention to that. It's very dangerous. And the opposite side, if you do something good and you start feeling good about yourself, and then you acquire this arrogance. In moments of up and down, you need to focus on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He is always God, He is always there for you, and even if you do sins, you need to pull out and not fall into this vulnerability of yours, listening to shaitan. Focus on what Allah is, because it doesn't matter where you are at, you can pull out and you can always be high, inshallah. Just wanted to bring that up.
The next question we had was, how do you control everyday feelings of jealousy and envy that don't last very long? They occur just at the moment. Jazakumullah.
There will be no one day that's going to be pure. Let me tell you that. If you think there's a drink or juice that you're going to drink it and then everything's going to be pure, no. The heart was called qalb because it keeps yataqallab, it does not stay on. And one of the most dua of the Prophet ﷺ, Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub, Oh Allah, you are the one who is in charge of these hearts when they move around and you up and down. Thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Give me ability to be steadfast on this religion. The problem is not thoughts of jealousy. The problem is not ideas of envy. The problem is not, there is like phases. They say it starts with the khatir and then with the, processes for your intention to go. Out of that, are you going to take it into action? Is this feeling of jealousy is going to be translated into actions that will cause harm? That's what you need to control. You will always be attacked by these thoughts. Your stand should be, you're gonna deal with it before it takes you into taking any action to bring it into harm, causing people. Whenever you take it into harm, then you are liable because you have done an action. If it's just thoughts, still you need to try to purify yourself from that. And the way is that you start thinking of, again, as I mentioned, what Allah is, learn the attributes of Allah, get to know God, then you get to know yourself. And when you know your vulnerability, you'll start being more of a humility. And you start feeling that I might be crossing the road here in envy or in jealousy. There is part of jealousy that could be something good, something righteous. To be jealous on what we call maharimillah. When you see someone engaging in something haram and you are jealous for the truth, you are jealous for the concept of righteousness, then that's healthy because it kicks into your natural inclination or your composition, the fitrah. But the jealousy in causing people harm and in taking what people have a right to enjoy in life, that's what could be dangerous and you need to be away from.
Actually, if I would like to add something, I want to just say that those who fall a lot into the extreme jealousy, specifically when it goes to hasad and envy, it is a sign of su'ul dhan billah azza wa jal. It's a sign that they have the wrong assumption about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's wallahi su'u adabin ma'Allah azza wa jal. It's being impolite with Allah azza wa jal. As if we're judging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why him, why her, not me? If they were given something better than what I have, and you start kind of looking at that as being privileged, being given to them, that I didn't have that, that's su'u dhan billah azza wa jal. We start judging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Instead of worrying about ourselves now, we're now worrying about this. And it is also conflict with the belief in al-qadr, a qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because the Prophet ﷺ said, whatever happens, it wasn't by random, it wasn't by mistake. And those who are jealous and those who envy others, they assume that this was actually by mistake. SubhanAllah, even we have some amthal, some proverbs that confirm that. And one of these actually proverbs I heard, they say, "Biddil halaq lilli balawdan." You give the earrings for those who don't have ears. So when they want to judge someone and they don't deserve it, they say that's who they are. They don't deserve it. What? You deserve it better than? So this is su'u adab ma'Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's extreme jealousy, and it's su'u adab ma'Allah. You being impolite with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're judging Allah azza wa jal. You're messing up with the belief in al-qadr. How can I get rid of that extreme radical jealousy and envy? The Prophet ﷺ says, "Unduru ila man hum dunakum, la tanduru ila man hum fawqakum." Don't you ever look at those who are above you. Always look at those who are below you. Otherwise, لِأَلَّا تَزْدَرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ. Otherwise, you're going to belittle the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being bestowed upon you. That's in matters of dunya. In matters of the akhirah, it's the opposite. Always look at those who do better than you, so you get motivated and do better, inshallah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Remember, envy is not just about envying an individual. It's a su'u adab. It's an impolite attitude towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wallahu alam.
I think we only have time for one last question. What is your favorite, most powerful dua?
I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me sa'adatul darain. Couple words. Sa'ada means the joys. Ad-darain means this life and the hereafter.
My favorite dua is saying Subhanakallah bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. That means we're done with the majlis, yani. No, but seriously, if there is any dua that is very powerful, I would always refer to a couple of du'as. Number one is Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub wal-absar thabbit qalbi ala dinik. Ya Allah, you're the one who has the control of the heart. Ya Allah, keep my heart on the straight path towards you. That's the first thing. The second one is Allahumma hdi qalbi. That's a very simple dua, and I want you all to learn this before you leave this place, inshallah ta'ala. I want you to say Allahumma ihdi qalbi, which means, oh Allah, guide my heart. Because if your heart is rightly guided, Allahu Akbar, you got it in the dunya and the akhirah. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide your hearts towards Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.